my name is Randy McGinnis, and I'm the Native American flute player. I'm actually the Native American Flute Player of the Year for 2017. At the Native American Music Awards, I've won several NAMMYs, and I've also been nominated probably 6 or 8 times. And I'm fortunate enough to play this music all over the world, and I live here in Reading now. So by being here in Reading, I'd like to do this show this evening so the community can get to know me a little bit and spread word about my music and give me a chance to play here. I'm actually a Cherokee Indian. My mother is Cherokee, my dad's mother is Cherokee, my dad's father came from Ireland.
So my name is Patty Bay, and I was starting to tell you this beautiful necklace that I'm wearing is silver. It was Randy's mother's. It's probably about 60 years old, maybe older. Randy's dad used to work in silver, and so he did a lot with jewelry. But it's Zuni silver and has matching earrings, and I am extremely honored to be wearing it tonight. So I would like to introduce who you came to see. This is Randy McGinnis, but his Cherokee name is Awalishki Anakawi Ashkaduwa Ashkaduwa. I didn't screw that up. Doshkane Agaduwa, which means Awalishki means many deer running. Anakawi is he is of the deer clan, and his ancestors came from Gadua. This man is 75% Cherokee and 25% Irish. He'll tell you more about that later. But his relatives came over ahead of the Trail of Tears and then lived in the high Ohio mountains in a Cherokee village. He spoke only Cherokee until he was 6 years old, so that it is his primary language, and it is just absolutely beautiful when he speaks it. And he'll be doing some Cherokee prayers for you tonight and telling you some Cherokee stories, and I just love that. It's wonderful. So I am really pleased to give you Randy McGinnis on the Native American flute that he's been playing since he was 4 years old.
Thank you so much. This is going to be kind of fun because most of the time I play concerts all over the world and I don't know anybody there. Now I see lots of people I know out here, so I have to do an extra good job, I guess. So, but if I mess up, you can tell me later. I don't think I will. But anyway, like Patty said, I'm Awalishki Anakawi Doshkane Anakaduwa. And the old city of Gadua is just south of the town of Cherokee, where the Eastern Band Reservation is. And they've carbon dated the top layer of soil where the council fires are back 20,000 years. Our stories go back 50,000. So we've been here a while, but we're still here. So anyway, my mother was a walking stick, was her last name. My dad's mother was a black fox. So my one grandmother said the other grandma left the door open and this Irish guy come in and there went the family. So anyway, so I do have one rule: if you tell Indian jokes, you got to tell them slower. I won't get them, so I may have to repeat it a little bit. But anyway, like Patty said, I'm actually the Native American Flutist of the Year this year from the Native American Music Awards, which is a great honor. So that was a lot of people fight for that title, and I was lucky enough to win. But I had, thank you. And then I've had 2 of my CDs I've won Native American Music Awards for. They're called NAMMYs, and don't call it a Grammy or I'll be getting a threatening letter from them. It happens several times a year. Some radio announcer goes, "So you won a Grammy?" Right after I told them NAMMY, make sure you say NAMMY in the interview. And they go, "You won a Grammy." Here comes the letter. And I said, I tried to tell. But anyway, but I have had a couple CDs that went pretty far in the Grammys. The Journey went up to about, number 8, I think. So, but you have to be like number 3 or 4 to be called nominated. You know, I was just way up front with a whole list of losers. But anyway, kind of a shameless plug. My new CD has just been released. It was digitally out today, right?
Yes.
It's called Freedom's Hope, and all my CDs have always been pushed. Eventually, they get shoved over in the Grammy category as New Age music, you know. But 20,000-year-old songs, but it got category New Age, you know. Figure that. But anyway, so I actually went, dang it, I'll just do a New Age album. Are any of you familiar with Bruce Turgan that lives here in town? Bruce played for Foreigner for like 25 years. So Bruce and I recorded this CD together, and it truly is New Age. So now they'll put it in Native Roots. So is my guess. But anyway, so I'm going to play a bunch of songs. A lot of our songs you go through 7 times, one for each clan. It's to honor them, but we will be really bored with that. So I'm just going to play one section of each one of the songs so you get a chance to hear some of our music. I play everything from blues to pop to New Age to traditional. I've played with symphonies. I've played with string quartets. Some of my CDs back there are with classical violin players. Lucy Novovesca was the #2 violinist for the Prague Symphony. Stacy Nickel Miller was the lead cello player for the Knoxville Symphony. I won an award for that and the one with Stacy. But so I've played all kinds of music. I've played in St. Bart's Square. I've played in Venice, Milan, Lake Como, all over Europe, Canada, Hawaii, South America. And I'm here now. So being here now, I want to share my music locally. So it's I thought this was a good place to start. So I hope you enjoy it. If you fall asleep, that's totally okay. That's my job. So my job is put the first 14 rows to sleep. If I can do that, I'm doing well. You don't have to wave candles and lanterns. Start crying. Yeah, well, some of it is kind of sad. But anyway, so I want it to be kind of really informal. So, music is for you. So, I want you to enjoy it and have a part of it. So with that being said, how about if I play some music? Would that be good? So, yeah. Tonight I'm actually my own sound guy, so kind of works out that way. So what do you think? Was that something like you've heard before? Huh? Probably not. But I do take requests, so if you got any 2,000-3,000-year-old Cherokee songs, I'll be more than glad to play them for you. The top 20 even.
Which flute is that?
This one, this is one that was kind of a special flute that was made to me for me by a guy named Danny Begay. Begay is a Navajo name. Danny's mother was Cherokee, and his father was Navajo. And he grew up in Nageezi, right by Canyon de Chelly. Well, Danny made this for me the old way. He carved this with a piece of flint. He burnt the holes through it. He drilled the flute out with a flint drill. He probably made half a cent an hour for his wages for the work it took to make this. But he's just so dedicated to making fine instruments, and he only makes probably, I bet he doesn't make more than probably 20 a year, maybe 25. And I'm fortunate he's made a lot of my instruments because they just sing. They have our culture in them. And he actually signed it on the back. which means it's the song from the mountains. So this is another one of his flutes. Some of the instruments that I play are what is called grandfather tuning, and they're not in pitch with anything. So if you pick those up and there's somebody with a classically trained ear, they'll go, really? Because they're not on any certain key. Like this instrument, for instance, this is Black River cane. This grows on our creek banks back east. And we've made instruments out of these for thousands and thousands of years. And we've made baskets out of them, mats. We do a double weave in this for a basket that actually holds water. Matter of fact, we had the first microwaves about 6,000 years ago. And we'd do this double weave basket, and you could carry it on your back, and you'd put it on a tripod, and you'd fill it full of water, and you'd put game meat in it, and mountain plants, and your whole dinner would be in that basket. Then you heat up rocks over here, and you take a stick and pick these rocks up and drop them in the basket, and they'd cook everything in about 3 minutes. So, it's like microwave. So when you were finished eating, you drained everything out, washed the basket out, put it on your shoulder, and leave. So you didn't have to carry too much. So, but this flute is made that way, and it's called grandfather tuning. Sorry. Didn't want to fall off the stool, it'd be embarrassing. But anyway. So there's a seam here, and this is kind of like American bamboo. But bamboo has real short sections. Well, the sections of these are about these far apart. We even make blowguns out of these and hunt with them. So there's a hole put at that piece, and you put your hand here and your thumb here, and you burn that first hole through. Then every time you put your thumb down here, it's an exact distance, and you burn holes through. Your thumb goes here, and then your hand goes here, and your thumb goes here, and you cut it off. We do the same thing up here. There's a hole here, your hand goes here, and your thumb goes here, and you cut it off again. Well, then, this was made for me. The Cherokee guy that made this for me was 93 years old when he made it. And it goes from my elbow to the end of my finger. That's how you know it's in tune for you. So, because it's made off your measurements. And then you see it looks like it has varnish on it. Well, it's not varnish. We heat up river rocks, flat river rocks. And then you hold this really close to the rocks and turn it really slow. And when it's done completely, it'll look just like a chocolate Hershey bar, same color. Then you take a deer skin and polish it, and it looks like this. So And then you put deer sinew on the end so it doesn't crack and split. So that's the ligament from a deer. So we've made these for thousands of years. So if you happen to be hanging out in the mountains in East Tennessee 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, you would have heard these instruments. So. Some of the songs I play, you hear them just kind of taper off and drift off. Well, some of them have a kind of a pop on the end of them. Well, the ones that have pops on the end are prayer songs. And I'm actually telling the Creator in this prayer song that, aho, I'm done. You usually hold your eagle feather up and go, aho, I'm done praying, so he can go help somebody else, you know. Or us, it's not a he or a she, it's a force. It's the creation, the one that created all. So you're telling them to go look after somebody else. So, in our culture, you know, we kind of like to gamble a lot. You know, we take chances on stuff. We bet on anything. You know, we'll bet that the grass will grow or something. So I want to play this song for you, and it's the Grandmother Moon. We stopped because I want to make a deal with Grandmother Moon. If you'll let me come back the next full moon, I'll play you the rest of the song. So I just bought myself another 28 days. It's worth it. And she'll see that I get back. Yeah. That's another thing I hate to bring up. You guys have some funny calendars. We have 28 days, 13 months. We don't have skip a minute, leap year. It just works perfectly. And you know, what's daylight savings time? If you got a blanket and you cut a foot off the bottom of the blanket and you sew it on the top of the blanket, is the blanket longer? Thank you. I'd actually talked to some of you back there about the plastic flutes that we make and give for the kids. And the reason I chose this material is because a lot of the underprivileged kids that I dealt with, you'd say, now they would make this in the class with us. We'd work with them, they actually drill the holes and they'd put it together, and then we'd leave the materials and the instructions for the art teacher to decorate them a month or two later so they could get another piece out of the class. But you would tell the young child, say, you can take this home with you now. And their answer was, I don't have a home. And you go, that's kind of hard to sit and listen to. But they said, I've got a backpack. I said, well, then keep it in your backpack. Because I said, well, where do you stay? And they said, well, just friends, relatives, cousins, neighbors, just bounced around, So, and then you would say, you need to keep these up so maybe your dog won't chew on them. Well, we don't have a dog. We have rats, though. Rats could chew on them, and you kind of go, your heart just goes out to these kids. So with them having these and teaching them to play them, that gives them some peace for themselves. And it's pretty amazing. Some of the kids that I taught when they were 7 and 8, you hear them as teenagers still playing. It's kind of nice. There's this program called Under These Hills. It's a play that's done on the Cherokee Reservation, the Eastern Band. And it used to be a bunch of New York actors, and it was kind of a theatrical show. Well, about 10 years ago, they took it over, and all the actors now are Cherokee kids and things. 3 of my kids play native flute there, but when it comes on at halftime and at the end and during the show in certain parts, and they're really good now. And some of them compete with me in the Native American Music Awards. One of them did this year, but I won. I told him old age and treachery will always succeed over youth and ambition. No, they have all kinds of different ones, but some of them still play the ones I gave them, so I did. And so this is no different than any of them ones we make, and I don't know if this is the same one I've always had or I've given it to some kid, and we got another one. But I've always had kids come up after the class was over and go, will you play mine? Because I want to see if it sounds like the way you play it. And I usually will. So. kind of fun when you walk into a little club and start playing blues on a native flute. They kind of go, "What is that?" It's a blues instrument. The blues? Oh, the blues sounds like all kinds of stuff, you know. Oh, sure. This goes all the way back to yesterday. Works real well when you have a piano and a guitar player and a horn player, and you kind of all play off each other. So. You're welcome. I hope it didn't hurt anybody's ears. Let's see. Oh, cool. It's an old piece. Play this one. I usually don't do this. I usually don't play songs from my CDs. I usually play all kinds of other songs. so you can buy the CDs and hear something different. But this is Off the Water Place. It's kind of an old prayer song. There's Native American remains there. Beside it, there's some pottery and things like that, but there's a petrified saber-toothed tiger there. So that's how long we've been visiting these places. And they're about in the same stratus they were in the stone. So they apparently were fairly close from about the same time. So messes with the history books really bad. So I told a couple of people back there, well, the water place is a cavern between Knoxville and Chattanooga, and it's about 1,000 feet down under the ground, and it's big enough to put 2 football stadiums in it. And there's a lake down in the center that's full of blind fish. So there's actually fish there that don't have any eyes because there's no sunlight. So, but I put 36 microphones around the outside edge of this cavern. And I stood right in the center on the edge of this lake and recorded that CD. And it's called Amahi. Ama is water and Jalagi, and He is place. So it's the water place. So this is one of the songs from that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Originally, I was born in southern Ohio, but I lived in East Tennessee for the last probably close to 30 years. So then I moved here from East Tennessee as well. So it was a journey to come here. And matter of fact, my last CD last year is called The Journey. And that CD is kind of about the process of coming here. So starting my life over again. So. Is that a mouse? Okay. Thank you. Do you want to play one with me, or do you want to wait till closer to the end? That's dangerous, isn't it? Come on up and we'll play some A's together, and then I'll play a couple more, and then we'll play the last one together. Pick a flute. Here. No, one of the things we're doing here is the reason we're both playing two of the plastic flutes because they're perfectly pitched together, and they will sound well together.
What's really cool is we actually sell these flutes for $50. We didn't bring any to sell tonight, so if you want one, let us know. We can get you one. But it's a really great flute to start with if you're a beginner because you only have a $50 investment. Some of our flutes, like my big D I'll play for you later, is like $800. But it's really neat to only pay $50 to see if you like it and to learn and there's so much cool stuff online. You can go to flutetree.org and really learn how to play this just by pulling up stuff on that website. It's neat.
Yeah, they show you under each note, there's thousands of songs on them in the songbooks. Under each note is a picture of the flute.
Yeah,
and it shows you which holes to cover up. So
it's neat.
So you kind of play the song kind of mechanically at first until you kind of get used to it.
If any of you are musicians, you know that it really takes about 10 years to get proficient on an instrument, whether it's your voice or it's piano or anything. But what's nice about Native American flute is you can get proficient really fast. Within a month or two, you can go, wow, I sounded good. It's kind of nice. Let's go.
English is my second language. Jalagi is my first. That's what we call ourselves. So, Shio Oshigwaju. I said, hello, how are you? So if you're good, you would say in our language, you would say, oh, Shigwu, Nihina, I'm good, and you? So I would say Ost, good. So there's a little bit of our language that's still alive, and still a lot of speakers. So it's good that it's been preserved. So, but anyway, would you like to drum for me? Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't tell you that on the journey, that CD is a very special drummer. It's Rich. When Tara, my oldest daughter, did her song and produced it and all of that, her song is We Can't Do This Forever. We knew Rich was terminally ill, so he went down to the studio and laid down all kinds of drum tracks so that Tara could finish her CD with Rich playing. And then when Randy did the journey, he asked my permission and Tara and Ashley's permission to use their dad's drumming. So when you hear the drummer on the journey, it's Rich, which is really cool. And so when you hear Randy and I playing Nego Hila together, and you hear this beautiful drum in the background, it's Rich. Yeah, yeah. And we just think that's really special. So I'm playing Rich's drum.
You know, our songs all have meanings in them, and if you listen to the two cadences of the song, when the note came down and it was a half off note and a half off note and a half off note, and then the cadence started again. That was actually in the story that was being told. It's a story of two raccoons trying to win an argument, and one's pulling the other one to his side. And he's going, oh, he's off. He's going, no, he's off. He's going, no. And that's where those notes came from. So they all have words and meanings. So didn't want you to think I played the wrong note. So do you want to play the last song together? So, yeah, this is off of our CD, and this is our song.
I want to ask Randy to do something. He's going to go, uh-oh. Once we're done with this song and we close out the night so they can close out the cameras because they're videotaping. Once the cameras are off, I'm hoping he will honor us with a Jalagi blessing.
Yeah, I will do that if we turn the recorders off, because I won't record them publicly. I can say them, but I can't record them. So
it's an oral tradition, and it is against tribal tradition to record them.
Yep.
So I'm just hoping that as we close out the recording, and then we can all wait just another minute, I want you to hear the incredibly beautiful and loving blessings that he does. And just speak to your heart.
Yeah. No, I need to turn around so I can see you a little bit.
Can do that.
What's that? And you can turn our effects on.
See where I am.
Just don't fall
Close
off.
to the edge I am. Right?
Yeah. Falling off the stage wouldn't be good.
I call this my big D. We're so glad that you joined us tonight. And we
Yeah.
hope you'll consider joining the Shasta Arts Council as a member. It's well worth it. And it serves so much good for here in Reading.
Thank you. And if I could get the house here to shut down all the recordings, can we do that?
And if you could join us in prayer, in whatever form of prayer suits your heart and your spirit,
Let's make sure we're down here just a second. So,
and just listen to the beautiful Jalagi words. Your heart will hear exactly what they mean.